This is Teresa Phelps Martin, hanging out in my home studio to share in this group, Soulfully You, a yoga practice that connects you to the energy of your innermost essence, that ability to connect deep within and awaken your ability to stand in your own light, to stand fully with clarity and confidence and connection, so that you can remain centered as you navigate the cycles and the tides of life. Today we are going to experience a class, a practice that connects us to the values, our foundations, our resources, our abundance, and also understand how we move with this energy, how we articulate it, how we adapt it, but to stand steady in that. And there's a little extra layer to today. I'm recording this live on hello Julie, on a day, every day. Did you know this? We traditionally knew of 7 celestial objects that we could see in the sky. I say we, I wasn't alive at the time, to the naked eye. And that include the luminaries, the sun and the moon. And then we have Mercury and Venus, which are the inner planets. And then we have Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And these 7 objects inform the 7 days of the week. So Thursday is a day ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter it represents the archetypal energy of Jupiter is all about expansion and grand and beliefs and makes things big. And Jupiter's been, I don't want to get too cosmic right now. So if we come to the esoteric teachings of Shaivism, then we understand this idea, or just this idea that the pulse of life, like I don't want to go esoteric. Put your hands on your heart. Feel the inhale and your exhale. And the next time you inhale in and pause at the top of the breath, even close your eyes. And exhale all the way out. And at the bottom of your exhale, notice if you can sense the beat of your heart more. And the beat of our heart that pumps the blood through our beings, that circulates the oxygen and feeds our vital organs, the energy it needs to transform what we take in, our digestion, so we can receive the nourishment that helps to keep the synapses of our mind, our brain, working and communicating, is all about a dance of contraction and expansion. So we all contain the planets within, and if you're curious at all, Thomas More has a book called The Planets Within. But we all contain these symbols within ourselves, and it sits within the beat of our heart. And we see it in day and night. We see it in our ability to know when things are hidden or contracted or limited or painful, and we know when the wisdom comes through. So Jupiter is related to wisdom, and so not only is Thursday Jupiter Day, but we get to enter into this relationship with the soul. So when we have this mutable energy, this ability to adapt and dance, but we get into the emotional level, we really find the connection to the evolution of our own souls, the ability to awaken. And so we get to find, it'll happen this evening, that the dreams of what we want to come into being are ready to be articulated. So it just makes sense to me that we move in this way, that we connect. For anybody who's detail-oriented, just know Jupiter moves into Pisces today, and it will only be there until mid-July, and then it'll go retrograde. So we'll have this chance to reflect back on a lot of what's happened in the past few months. So I like to look at it as the universe or the cosmos' little nudge of saying, you know, we're actually getting ready to walk into a little bit of a storm in our life, in our collective energy here on Earth. And I know I laugh because we've kind of already been in the storm, right? But we're kind of going back to it. You know, it's like that second wave of the aftermath of a big storm. But it's kind of like the little wink from the universe, in my opinion, saying it's gonna be all right. We can do this. I've got you. Your angels have you. We're in this collective evolution. So stay centered. Get into that connection of your values, your resources, what is steady for you. Honor those boundaries because, you know, let's say you just indulged in a bunch of chocolate and it was amazing. You kept going, you kept going. You need the boundary, right? We need the skin to contain our being. So those little bumps in the road are the boundaries. So since I'm in this kind of philosophical and spiritual dialogue, if we think of Ganesha and the archetypal energy of Ganesha, and I'm looking at my Ganesha right now, you know, he's the elephant-headed mystic that is known as the obstacle, but he's also known as the threshold. So it's that kind of ability, like, is it the obstacle? Is it something that's limiting you and standing in your way to protect you so that you can cross this threshold? So the only way we can realize we're crossing a threshold is actually to be a little emotional because it's new. So let's move. So with the idea of air, like adaptable air, it's really in the messaging. So I really want us to listen to the communication of our physical being, the body that we live in to carry us forward, okay? And in that, we're gonna feel the little play of one foot up, one foot down, one hand up, one hand down. So we can understand the power of our foundation, the power of our resources, the steadfast energy that allows us to work with the tides and the cycles of our life. So you might want to block. And it's also this little teaser of this, because the moon is really leading the way right now. And the moon is our intuitive nature. It's our reflective energy. And I'll get into that later, another time, another place. And in that ability to know that we're getting a little taste of what's going to happen during this very ability to really adapt that's coming forward for us. So nothing to be scared of, always for the highest good. We're going to start seated, right? I really want us to feel grounded, hands on our heart. We're starting to feel the revelation of this new cycle that is seeding these big sort of the journey of our own fate. Okay, so here we go. I thank all of you for being here, and I'm excited to share with you. I have lots of layers. And as we sit well, sit within, I know, I'm going to celebrate. I am sitting cross-legged, and I am sitting cross-legged to honor the fact that we can heal. So this is just such an important thing. It's my own physical body, and that ability to anchor in. So feel your hips for a moment. I want us to feel our physical body. Your knees, okay? Your hips, this part again, from your hip points to your rib cage. I want you to feel the connection into your core, okay? I have so many layers up. I have 2 pairs of pants on. They're both thin and it just felt right. So in that, I like to have my nervous system held, which is really important when you feel a lot of movement. At least it is for me. So feel your 2 hip points and just anchor your tail and tip your pubic bone. So just pelvic tilt and feel how this little inner place, this core, this like the depths of ourselves, where that sacred depth is so misunderstood. Okay? And as you're moving back and forth, and feel that center, feel the weight of your sit bones. I know I'm being technical, but I want us to really feel settled and grounded. And obviously sit in a way that's comfortable for you. Then feel that connection drawing up through that center line. So we have the pelvic floor, the domes that move in our body that allow our vitality to come through. You need me.
The TV download and the iPad is one out battery.
Okay, can you charge the iPad? Because I can't fix the TV right now.
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you, technology. So that interruption is going to make me segue for a second. Listen to the messages that are coming forward right now, because they're giving us little hints of what is to come. And technology and how it's being interrupted is, in my gut feeling, something that's going to show up. So the pelvic floor, the domes of the body, and feeling your diaphragm. Inhale, it goes up. Exhale, it goes up. Inhale, it goes down. So if you can, hands right here on the back of your heart, front of your ribs. Feel an expansion of the inhale, or perhaps the inhale is a contraction. And the expansion of the exhale, or perhaps the exhale is a contraction. Feeling the movement up and down. And then while we're breathing, you're going to shift your hands to rest on your heart. And then feel just you're aligning that center line, pelvic floor, diaphragm, roof of the mouth. And I want you to take the top of your tongue and feel that there's a hard part and a soft part. So if you've done yoga long enough, or maybe you're new to it, then you know there's always an axis of opposing energy when we find the center. Okay? It's not about it being balanced, soft, and hard. It's about finding the energy that pulls you into the midpoint.
Mom, I can't push the plug away to the iPad.
Because you have the wrong one. You can also bring the charger here and I'll plug it in for you.
Okay.
So all these words, these interruptions are actually important, because what are you plugging into? Are you giving yourself room to recharge? So as you're breathing, and you feel that upper palate, it even moves up and down the tiniest bit. And I want you to feel your earlobes and your eyebrows in the center of the forehead, and then bring one hand to the top of your head, the palm on top, and one hand here. I've done this before with people when we've put a block on our heads. Mine is not nearby, but feel free to put a block on your head. Why do you need your headphones?
I want to do a heel.
Oh, okay. So it's in your container.
I can't find the plug into my headphones.
Are you listening to me?
No.
Okay, well then I can tell you where it is if you want to listen.
Real.
You know, in the black shelves, that's where your case is, and the plug is in there.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you all for navigating. This is where we have to be adaptable. Our words matter, right? I kind of spoke it into being. So I am going to have to pause. So I want you to feel this elongation here. And what we're going to do is then we're going to breathe on that horizontal line. We're going to breathe so that we feel our ribs expanding. Now here's this is a big detail, right? You're probably like, I just want to move. I want you to breathe along the horizontal. So right from your heart center, that you can feel it moving out this way, but also forward and back, okay? So you're making a sphere of energy, and so you feel that midpoint of the heart. What?
Back south.
The,
One's the black.
with all the stuff in it, all the craft stuff in it. Mm-hmm.
But I looked in all of them.
Well, then I don't know where you've put your case for your headphones. Maybe on the floor in your bedroom. And so we'll just breathe. Feel the horizontal. We have a situation in our house that things don't get put back where they're supposed to be. Anybody else ever go through that? I always did when I was a kid. I know I was very organized, did everything my parents asked me to do.
Yes,
For the most
it
part.
was, because
Okay.
it's hiding under the table.
So,
We don't get that.
you're gonna breathe all the way in and all the way out. Okay. And breathe on that horizontal line. I'm actually looking forward to technology dissolving a bit in our life with summertime. And as you're breathing again on that horizontal, and as you exhale, feel that connection through this inner line, okay? So as you inhale, you're feeling that sphere of that horizontal, and as you exhale, feeling that connection to your center. So 5 breaths here. And I'm gonna set up my sweet daughter. Okay.
Now
Breathing
can
all the way in. Can you say hi to everybody? Because you're on TV. Smile.
Hi.
Breathing all the way in and all the way out.
Hi.
You won't be able to see them. Hey, honey, this is so dead.
Hi.
And as you exhale out, bring the palms of your hands together in front of your heart. You're gonna have to wait a little bit until it charges.
Is it dead?
It's out. It's kaputzed.
Is it dead?
Mm-hmm. See that? It never got plugged in, so there's no juice.
Is it
Well,
dead?
it'll come back, but it has to rest for a little bit. See? There you go. So you can sit and eat right here. Just don't knock this over, okay?
Not wow, this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And but this only goes this far, okay? So you have to be very careful because we're kind of set up. Okay, my apologies. Bring your hands together in front of the center of your forehead.
I want to walk Cuba.
Okay. And then keeping your eyes closed, you're gonna move your hands away from the center of your forehead. And you're gonna tap in to just a vision you're holding for yourself. A vision that technology works out, so that we can continue to move forward, and know that the interruptions are not inhibitions, but they're just little moments to realign and recenter, to regroup. And we all have patterns of defensiveness and limitation. And so we're awakening ourselves to find new ways of being that honor the truth of our innermost self, where we can choose our souls individually and collectively. You're gonna let the palms move apart, so when you open your eyes, you look into the palms of your own 2 hands. And you're gonna release your hands to the earth. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the earth. And as your one hand to the heart and one hand to the earth, feel the connection to this being, where you are in this journey, how much you already have evolved. And now let's begin. You're gonna come onto your hands and knees, and then move into downward facing dog and move in with a connection to the dome of your hands, the domes of the feet, and then those 3 domes we connected to, as well as the domes of your armpits. of your body. Palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. The pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the roof of the mouth. Reconnect to that breath. And again, that intersection of the breath. Feeling the horizontal in all four directions. And then inhale your right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip up, and bend the left knee. And I want you to make the connection from your left hand to your left armpit to the left sideline, behind the left knee, into your inner hip point, into the sole of the foot. This one's free. Big full breath in, and a big full breath out. And then as you exhale, step the foot forward, finding the right foot under your knee, lift through the back, inner left thigh, lift into this hip point, hug the hips together, and we're going to stay on the horizontal line. So the breath is going to move down towards the earth, out to both sides, and up towards the sky. And you're going to reach your arms out to the side. You might fall over, it's all good. Elbows are bent, shoulders are to the back. Big full breath in, and a big full breath out. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Step back, downward dog. So I share that we're going to play with hands and feet. And so each time your hands return or your feet return, notice the expansion that's come from the limitation. I don't think it's plugged in all the way, sweetheart.
It is. I can do it.
There you go.
I took off my headphones.
Okay. You're going to inhale the left leg up. Bend both knees. And again, make that connection from the right hand, right armpit, right sideline. Breathing in fully. Noticing the difference, the duality of the two sides that makes the one of you. And then exhale. Step it all the way through. Heel under your knee. Pulling into that midline. Lifting in through the core. What's going on from the diaphragm to the roof of the mouth? Right? What's going on from the diaphragm to the pelvic floor? How can you hug into that midline? And then inhale. The arms go wide on that horizon. Shoulders are drawing in. Lunging forward. So you're feeling the solidity. The connection, the awakening, the challenge, that's actually just making us stronger so we can be ready for what's coming. Exhale, hands to the earth. Move it back. Downward dog. Breathe all the way in, pausing to reconnect. And then inhale forward into a plank pose. Knees high or low. And drawing the shoulder blades into the back body. Elbows are pointing back, consciously connected to all these points. Soles of the feet, hip points. 3 parts of the domes of the body, the armpits, and the palms of the hands. I know it's a lot to think about, so you can move your awareness around. Feet point back, hands go wide, elbows lift up, and then inhale, rise up. Feeling the palms lifted, elbows lifted, armpits lifted, shoulders into the back. Exhale, bow all the way down. Hands in under the shoulders. Push the hands to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, bow down, and then check in. You're either going to go to gecko again, or cobra again, or slide the hands back, shoulders drawn to the back, and inhale, upward facing dog. Do the one that's in service of you because you're going to try it out and then reevaluate and realign. You don't have to prove anything, especially in virtual yoga. Move all the way back, downward dog. Yoga was always about the inner experience. And thank you, Western world, for helping spread the love of yoga. But it's become such an external, yes, we get the inner hit, don't get me wrong. It changed my life. But it's usually undermines our own contribution, our own connection. Both feet underneath the hips, feet grounded, and exhale, bow. Feel the restriction and the limitation. Thank goodness we don't just split in half. Inhale, find length. Feeling the connection here. Draw into the belly. Find the length. Exhale, fold over. 2 more times. Inhale, find length. Really clear. Exhale, bow. This time, inhale, find length. Pause. Arms are wide. Both feet are on the ground. Lift into the core. Hug those ribs in. Bend the knees. Shoulders are to the back. You're going to feel this connection. What we're going to do is I'm going to sweep my hands back. You could sweep them forward. You're going to draw into the belly. Arms sweep back. Left foot lifts up into warrior 3. Breathing into that steadiness and noticing how you're still wavering. And then as you exhale, knee bends. Feet come back to the earth. Exhale, fold over, re-grounding, bow in, then 3 breaths. Notice how the contraction created the expansion. Exhale, fold. Now, you want to envision yourself, because you know what's coming, that you can take the knowledge, the communication of your body forward to help guide you. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length and pause. Domes of the feet, inner hip points. That's going to articulate the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the bigger sphere of energy, the roof of the mouth, arms out to the side. Bend the knees so you're sitting into that chair, but you're still horizontal. Remember, we've already seen these patterns, and we're connecting to them to take bigger leaps. Right foot lifts. You find the balance, and then you're actually hugging in even though you're expanding out. Enjoying the breath, the connection, the offering. And then exhale, both knees bend, they return to the earth, arms sweep back out. Exhale to the ground, bow, breathe. 3 times, inhale, find length. Make sure your buns are working. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, find length. Quads and calves are working. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, find length. Core and shoulders and the muscles of the spine are working. Exhale, bow down. This time we're going to roll up, bend the knees. Connecting through that center line of the body. Inhaling all the way up. Arms up overhead. 5 breaths here. Moving from that space above the crown of the head, the space below the soles of the feet, to the periphery of the room, and back into your center. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Feeling that pause can feel so contractive, but it illuminates what we contain within. And if we haven't been guided in how we can trust in the promise of our inner essence, then it can be so overwhelming. And so that's why yoga is the entry point to getting to know ourselves, but it's not the final point. And understanding our lives. Big breath in. Arms sweep up overhead. And then arms go wide. Feel that horizontal line. Exhale all the way to the earth. Bow in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knees bend. We're going warrior 2. Pivot the back heel. Lunge into the front knee. Inhale, rise up. Straighten the front leg. Pull more powerfully into the center. Adjust the foundation so you can feel the connection all the way up from the left foot through the left line, drawing into the core through that left side body. Arms go wide, shoulders drawn to the back. And then as you exhale, lunge forward. Inhale, pull back. Pull all the way back into the places you've been. exhale, lunge. Inhale, drawing in, feeling more of the work from this main line of the left side of your body, anchoring you as you dip in and pull back. 2 more times. Because we're usually so focused on where we're going that we forget to stay centered into our own vision. Exhale, lunge. Draw into the core. Feel that vibrant expansion by holding shape, holding form. And then exhale the hands all the way to the earth. Spin the back heel up. Draw into that center. So as you spin, rotate that leg so you pull all the way in. Straighten the front leg. So the back heel's lifting. And here's what we're about to do. Back heel's lifting. You're pulling into the belly. Now pick up the front toes. Mindful of calf, hamstring. Bend the knee if you need to. Really pull into that waistline. It's hard to talk in these moments of intensity. Big inhale. And then exhale, lunge. Hands to the earth. You're going to step the right foot all the way back and up to the sky. Both knees bend. Keep the hips square. Lots of connection. Deep, full breath in. Full breath out. And then inhale forward into a plank pose. I have to bring my knee down. One foot's off the ground. Inhale forward into that plank pose. Hug into that center. Shoulders come to the back, all the way to the earth. So one foot is up, one foot is down. Consciously land that right foot to the earth. Extend out through the left. Turn the palms up. Relax the fingers. And then inhale, lift up. So your fingers are soft. The domes of the hands are engaged. Right, they're connected. And then widen the hands. Elbows sweep forward. So many people do this keeping their elbows down. Sweep the elbows up. Shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. And then now determine cobra or upward facing dog. Respecting the energy of your being. Rising up. Opening up. Finding that lift. Expansion through the heart. The back body, the side body is the front body. Find your mat, find your ground. And then receive the abundance of the solidity of the moment. Because it's going to change. So we can find the persistence in trusting in our abundance. We can find the value in being stubborn with our boundaries, for the most part, and determined to awaken more and more of ourselves. Walk the feet forward, step by step. Both feet beneath you. Exhale, fold forward. Ground into the earth. Inhale, find length. And then exhale, bow. Folding all the way down to your essence. Knees bend, roll up. Reconnect that midline. Inhale, arms overhead, 5 breaths. Stand in your light, stand in the fullness. Stand in a connection and a recognition of what's available to you. Hey, Viv? When I can actually hear my daughter's show through her headphones, sorry. They watch this really funny show that doesn't even have any words. Inhale all the way in. And then arms go wide, hinge at the hips. Pause to recapture your energy. Bow. Inhale, find length. Right foot's gonna step back. Pivot the heel to the ground. Going into warrior two. So lunge into it. Feel the alignment here. And then straighten the leg. Adjust the feet accordingly. Feel the connection again. Sole of the foot. Up through the line. Up through the side of the body. All the way through. So the DOMs are activated, including the energy of the left arm. Right arm expands, and then you lunge in. And as you inhale, you're pulling back into this whole line of the body. Exhaling. Feeling the breath helping you to navigate this dance, which is, nothing all that fancy. But watching what you tend to do. Like, I already feel myself gravitating towards the front. Come back to that breath. I know, so many things to think about. It's yoga though. And the last pulse, tracking that knee straight ahead, pause and breathe. So both feet on the earth, legs are alive. And there's a dance of your own energy. There's a dance of the sacred spark within you. Exhale the hands all the way to the earth. You're going to spin, I think my feet were too far apart, but whatever. You're going to spin the back heel up. Make sure you internally rotate that leg. And you're going to straighten. So back heel is pulling up. The arch of the foot is pulling all the way up. Through the pelvic floor, heart, roof of the mouth, all the way into the domes of the hands. This is where you might need a block. And then you're going to pull up and in. Your hands are pushing down, so you can pull into that left waistline as you pick up the left foot. Check in with what's going on in your neck, what's going on around the heart, around the pelvis, your roots. Breathe into the depths of you, and then you're going to move it back. Left leg lifts, right? There's a lot of strength and connection. Pulling into the midline, the level of the hips, the nature of the heart. Where is the head? Inhale forward into a plank. Feeling the connection. Knee to the earth or up. Elbows bent. Let me pause here. It makes no sense to keep your knee up if you're hurting yourself. So back off so you can remain centered all the way to the ground. The results are more profound. Extend the leg out. Adjust the other leg. Palms turn up. I'm all over my mat. So notice, like, I'm realizing the wisdom of my body is telling me my foundation needs to continue to shift the structure so that I can remain centered. Inhale, lift. And then hands go wide, so you feel this widening. Elbows are lifted, shoulders are in. Curl up, right? We don't want to be here. We want to feel the buoyancy. Curl up. Exhale, bow. And then check in. Cobra, Bhujangasana, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Shoulders draw in. Inhale, rise. Feeling the breath. The invitation to awaken. And downward dog. So we're still grounded in that solidity of earth energy, which is why we're having this slower pace. It is going to change next month, so honor this here and now. Breathe all the way in, exhale all the way out. Walk the feet forward. And bow into it. All the way in. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Feet are grounded, knees bend. Roll the spine all the way up. 5 breaths here. Volume of the silence holds the pulse and the dance of the cosmos. Listen to your breath. Listen for the wisdom, the articulation of your dreams. And if you're dreaming of tree pose, your dreams are going to come true. Hands come to your heart center, waistline back. Right knee rises. Sorry, forgot. Tree pose is not in my asana vocabulary right now. So, you want your knee to open up wider. I am refraining and actually moving inward to make sure I don't agitate the development I've had. So this is where it's really important to understand boundaries. Yoga gets taught a lot to go play the edge. We actually want to back off of the edge and understand the boundary that keeps us centered while going forward after our dreams and our visions. Because one thing about Jupiter in Pisces is it's boundless, which is good and bad. Inhale, rise up, 5 breaths here, and feel connected to the pelvic floor. Woo. The diaphragm, the roof of the mouth. Where are the armpits? How are they engaging? What are the domes of the hands doing? What are the domes of the feet doing? Get the whole big picture perspective and breathe with it. And then exhale the hands to the heart. You're going to bend the knee and bring the right ankle across. Knees are bending, waistline's going back. Draw into that core, feel the left, shoulders to the back, and then inhale the arms wide. Sitting deeper and deeper and deeper. If your hands need to come to the earth, allow them to come to the earth. And then inhale, rise all the way up. You're going to cross the right leg over top of the left. Pull into that center, right elbow under the left, drawing the arm bones back, drawing the core in, and sitting, so I'm leaning forward, okay, we're sitting deep. I don't care if your foot hooks or not. You can even use your toes for balance. Feeling the breath. Right? It feels like an obstacle, but it's actually the threshold. It's both. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Both feet to the ground. Feel how contracted the left leg is. Stand into the right foot. Inhale the arms wide. Make sure you're breathing. When things get intense, we contract so much, the breath stops. It's part of that freeze energy. And then exhale the hands to your heart. Weight to the other foot. The right foot. Connect to that foundation. How are you connected to the pelvic floor? What is the energy of the pelvic floor? Your ribs, your center line, roof of the mouth, armpits. What have you learned from the other side, from the other challenge, the opportunity to expand and evolve with more conscious boundaries, a greater connection to your essence, so you can feel that you can trust in articulating your dreams to the cosmos, to the universe, to your life. And then you're going to exhale and bend. Ankle comes across. Thighs are moving back, but the hips are hugging in. The ribs are hugging in. You're going to bow, bow, bow. And then the arms go out that horizontal line. There's a subtle undertone to our practice today to really connect to our energetic sphere and seal in that energy and choose what energy it is we want to expand within. And And feel the boundary that is beyond our physical body and know that we're part of it. And then inhale, come up, leg's gonna cross over. Left elbow comes under, okay? And as it comes under, you're gonna draw into the belly. Thighs are moving back, hug the outer hips in, and bend. You're on that horizon. Remember that chair pose we did? That challenge prepared us for this moment. So in articulating our dreams, let's say we have an upsurge of energy, a download of insight. We usually have an emotional falling apart. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It means we're just releasing that which is binding us to what was, so we can bring in what can be. Unravel the legs, both feet grounded. Whew. Inhale the arms overhead. It's taken me so long to learn how to move this slowly, by the way. Exhale, hinge the hips, all the way down to the earth. Inhale, find length. Knees are gonna bend, feet go back. Downward dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Knees high or low, all the way down to the earth. All the way down. This time when you get to the earth, all the way to the ground. Complete to the earth. Let the belly swell into the ground. And notice how that downward energy expands the energy of the back body. If you always wiggle your hips from side to side, let that go. It's just a pattern that made you feel really good one time, that you stayed super attached to. And so it's not so much that we're letting go of what makes us feel safe, but we're letting go of the attachment to the way we're used to doing things. Which is what all of last year was about. Here we are. You're going to bend both knees. Find both feet. Hold on to the tops of the feet or the ankles.
No.
Shoulders drawn to the back. Lulu, come here. Come here. And inhale, rise up. Now, as you're rising, I want you to feel the pelvic floor, the inner thighs, soles of the feet, and the hands are with you. If you want more of a shoulder opener, take the palms of the hands, you got to soften down, palms of the hands to the insides of the feet, shoulders are drawn in, so you can feel more of that connection to that center line. You got to watch the elbows hyperextending, lift through the roof of the mouth, and then feel the expansion. Hands and feet are off the ground. Great massage of the depth of our vitality, our viscera, our vital organs. And then exhale all the way to the earth, into your puppy. Hands under the shoulders, push up, toes tuck, downward dog. Walk your feet to your hands, and your hands walk back to your feet. You're going to inhale up onto the balls of the feet, feeling the lift of the arches, the lift into the waistline. Bend both knees. You have options here. Choose soulfully, choose mindfully, choose from the wisdom you're cultivating today. You can come here and just feeling the feet wake up. Thighs, it's like toe stand. You're not dropping. You're really hugging in. Everybody wants to hang out with me today. Draw into that center. Lulu got a haircut. Draw into that center, and perhaps you're here, and you're just feeling that ability to balance. You got an itchy? You got an itch. What a weird place to have an itch, girl. Okay, or you can lean forward. Hey, beep, beep. Move, over there. Beep, 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 beep. Playful. You're gonna lean forward, draw in, pull in, and then elbow, your arms are gonna slide back. So you could just be here, palms lifted, heels are lifted, pelvic floor is lifted. You're not dropping down. Pelvic floor is lifted, heart soft. You could be here. This is really powerful. I'm cultivating more strength here than anywhere else. Or arms slide back, you shift the weight forward, oh my gosh, and you come into crow pose, which I got a loud message from my hip that said, no way. Hey, come on. Don't do that here. Go. Big deep breath in, deep breath out. And then you're gonna come all the way seated. Crow pose works for you? Fantastic. If not, no big deal. So we're seated. We're gonna sit just like we began. Checking in with hip. This is okay. This is a big deal for me. So I'm being very respectful. And from that seat, feel the connection to your strength. Why does she keep coming here to lick her butt? Does anybody else ever shave a dog? And then after their dog gets shaved, their butt's so sensitive? Hi. Sorry. Maybe your butt's sensitive too after you shave. I don't know. Both hips on the ground. Draw into the belly. Oh, the things we say. Find the length. Hands to heart. And I want you to breathe here and just see, like, if anything, we can consciously use our practice to articulate the collective dream that we're expanding for the highest, right? That we're in this grand transformation of consciousness or awakening to shift the way we experience our reality. I know. So as you feel the heart and those lines, I want you to also feel a circle of energy, of golden light, like a golden sphere around you. Go down and go up. You're going to connect to Ujjayi breath in the throat. If you need a twist, simple twist, right? If you've really hugged into your midline, we did some things that could be a little unsettling to the lumbar, but you are in charge of how you move, so you need to tune in. There is a volume of effort in the body right now, but it should bring forward this connection to what will help you find more ease to staying centered. That does not mean it will be easy in executing those downloads. Noted? Ujjayi breath, where you make that in the back of the throat, in the glottis. I want you to really emphasize the breath into the back body and the side bodies. If you need one hand on the diaphragm, go for it. If you need one hand behind the throat, go for it. Place your hands and hold healing energy. So we're not forcing the sound of Ujjayi breath. Ooh. You have to take it off. If you're leaving, you have to take your headphones off.
Well, I'm just going to get apple.
Okay, well you have to leave the cord here. Our attachments can inhibit us from going forward. So we're not pushing or forcing the sound of the breath. It's just this inner hum so that you can hear the wisdom, not the limiting beliefs. Or maybe you hear the limitations and you can acknowledge that that's not part of how you want to articulate your dream. We're going to always have limiting beliefs. We're human. We're always going to have mortal wounds because we're of this earth. They won't ever completely dissolve, because if they did, we wouldn't be motivated to grow and evolve. Did you rinse your apple off? You did? Okay. Big inhale in, plugging back in on your own. Big exhale out. Let the head bow down, let the palms turn out, and then open your eyes looking into the palms of your own two hands. I'm going to encourage you, if you feel any sort of movement that you want to write out your dreams, if you want to kind of interrupt your journey on your mat, to go and just use this time to just to dream big, where there are no boundaries, where you're not figuring out how to do it, but you really are seeding this transformational opportunity to awaken to new ways of communicating with yourself and the world, the light that you want to bring forward, the way you want to evolve. I know I just said that really quickly. Then this is the time. Otherwise, go ahead and come lying all the way down. You have to find a small hole. Yeah? Okay. Draw into the core. You're going to roll yourself down. Bring the knees into the chest. Adjust your hairdo. My hair's really wet. Because if you didn't know, curly hair needs really wet hair. So we're not always dry-haired when we show up in the world. So once you come to the ground, feel into the back body. You can even let your shoulders widen, hug in, rock from side to side. Feeling just a releasing. We worked a lot of really tiny muscles in the body today that you can't see. They're like little worms, the supraspinae, I think they're called. I don't know though. That is not my area of expertise, is knowing the name of every muscle and bone. My expertise is knowing how they come together and support you. And we all have different gifts. Once you come to the earth, you want to feel supported, to feel the effort you put forward. And actually, these yoga soul flows are just as much mental and emotional effort as they are physical and spiritual. And breathe. As you're breathing, guess what I'm going to ask you to do? You're going to breathe. And you're going to inhale into the soles of your feet. And exhale all the way out. And then travel with the soles of your feet up to your knees, inhaling all the way in. Exhaling all the way out. And then from your knees, inhaling up to your hips and your pelvic floor. Exhaling all the way out. And then inhaling to your diaphragm, the base of your heart. All the way in and all the way out. And then inhaling into your armpits, your elbows, the palms of your hands. Exhaling out. And then from the palms of your hands all the way to the upper palate of the mouth. And then exhaling all the way out. And then inhaling just above the crown of the head. And as you exhale, let the energy wash over your entire being. And with your next inhale, let a wave of renewed energy rise up from the earth through the soles of the feet, all the way up through the center line to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, all the way back down to the soles of your feet, let that renewed energy flow all the way back down. And then inhaling, bringing your awareness into your own heart. And feeling that energy as you inhale out, expanding out to the fingertips. Inviting in that renewal, that wave-like, boundless connection to the unseen, the highest, pouring into your own heart. And then inhaling down towards the core of the earth and up into the celestial plane. And exhaling, coming back into your own heart. Listening for the crunches of wisdom.
Just move our belly. Feel that.
Enjoy a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. I'm feeling this deeper awakening so that you can articulate your dreams. It may be just in smiles and laughters and bites of apples and visitations from cute little puppy dogs. A fluttering of a butterfly and acknowledging its dance near you and for you. The sun rising, the sun setting. Bring the knees into your chest. Relationships dissolving, new relationships beginning. That the spring is being sustained so we can give birth to the summer. I'm going to slowly roll over to one side. Pause as long as you would like. It's not something that I like. Physiologically, is a reason. Once you're centered, one hand to the heart, one hand to the earth. One thing that can happen when we become overly expansive or overly dreamy is that we lose touch with our reality, or we need to dissolve that mundane energy. And we make choices with substances and people that don't serve our soul. So calling in the guidance to help you remain centered, calling forward your soul's promise, calling forward the great wisdom, the great light of consciousness, in the darkness and in the dayness. Bring both hands to your own heart. Realign, feel that connection to that center line, and hopefully your connection to the space around you and that boundaries. Our boundaries don't have to feel restrictive and tight. What they do is they hold space for our own expansion of our heart, our mind, and our souls. And the strengthening of our bodies and our beings so that we can feel a strong sense of belonging within. A well-being that brings forward a kindness and a peace and a trust in our own resilience. So we say hello to this dream of our heart. We see it alive in the moment we're living right here, right now. And so to that great articulation of consciousness that guides us and supports us and is in each and every one of us, namaste. Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. I thank you all so much for this dreamy opportunity to just share through movement, through words, and I hope it inspires you and motivates you on some level. And thank you. And thank you especially to those of you who recognize and have the ability. Not everybody has the ability, which is why I'm not requiring a monetary contribution
Mom,
for these classes.
I want to learn the sound
Oh, from Booba, yeah. So yeah, so the show Booba goes bah, and that's what my daughter's been doing. And we've been having a talk how when she goes to school next year, she's gonna have to reflect on why she's doing that. So those of you who have the financial resources to contribute, I thank you. I appreciate it. I also don't charge because I share a lot of wisdom, but it's full of interruptions. It's full of my reality. It's full of the restrictions that are in my own life. This is your reminder to hydrate so much. Like, I really believe it's not so much the expansion of our breath, but this ability to dive into the great ocean of consciousness and expand that is we are here on earth because of the thousands of years it rained, okay? That the cosmic, the divine, God, source, however you said, you know what? I'm ready to know myself more fully, and I'm ready to bring forward an opportunity of great expansion. The cosmos are already expanding beyond our belief. And so water is just really, really, really key to staying hydrated, to staying nourished. But also watch, when you drink a lot of water, you're also flushing out, right? So peace. I appreciate you. I adore you, whether I know you or I don't, if you're live or if you're on a replay or finding this somewhere randomly in the unfolding. Thank you for your hellos, your likes, your comments, your connection. And I share everything straight from my heart to yours. Ciao.